All right, here's a few questions dealing with trigonometry. This is on section 6.1, 5.1, one of those. Anyway, first section on trigonometry. First couple questions converting from decimals to DMS, and then a couple questions with reciprocal ratios. Okay, so the first question says to convert to decimal degree notation. So currently, these questions are given in decimal or degree, minute, and second. So when you have a circle, that's a degree, 1 slash is a minute, and 2 slashes mean a second. Now, if they give you a question where they don't give you one of those, um, if you're trying this on the calculator, you need to add in the 0 seconds. So make sure you add in whichever one is missing. Okay, so what you do for any of them, and I'll maybe start with like this one. So what you have to do is you have to take the last number and see how many of those there are in the next one up. So here's seconds. There's 60 seconds in a minute. So I need to take the 23 and divide it by 60. Okay, let me just do that on my calculator. You can do it too. Okay, 23 divided by 60, 0.38. So that's 0.38. And then you add that to the 47. So I'm going to have 19 degrees and 47 0.38. That thing is in my way there. I'm trying to erase it. There we go. 47.383, etc. Minutes. Okay, so I convert this one into minutes, just divided by 60. Then I'll do the same thing. There's 60 minutes. Whoops. Yeah, that's right. There's 60 minutes in a degree, and so I'm going to take this whole thing and divide it by 60. So it'll be 19 degrees. Let me write this better. Just give me a second here. Write it so it's a little bit more legible or understandable. Okay, so I'm starting with 19 degrees, 47 minutes, and 23 seconds. So I'll take this and divide it by 60 and add it to the 47. So that'll give me 19 degrees, 47.38, etc. minutes. Now I'll take this one and divide it by 60. So what's that come out to? Divided by 60, it's 0.7897, and I'm going to add that to the 19. So it'll be 19 plus the 0.7897, etc. And this whole thing will be degrees. So when you add those, it'll be 19.7897. I think the question has you round it to 2 decimal places. So I'd put 19.79 degrees. So that measurement in decimal degrees is the same as, which one did we do? This measurement in DMS. Okay, hopefully that helps you. Now, on some of them where they're missing one, like this one, you divide this by 60 and add it to the seconds there, or the minutes, and there's no minutes there. So you'd add it to 0, and then take that and divide it by 60 and add it to the 35. Okay, hopefully that helps you with that. Now, if you have to go the other way, then you do it opposite. So if I have, let's do 83.025. This one. So if I have that, then I'm just going to take this portion of the number and times it by 60. So I'll take 0.025 times by 60. What's that come out to? 0.025 times 60 equals 1.5. So then this will be 83 degrees and 1.5 minutes. But then if there's a decimal portion here, I can keep going. So I'll leave the 83 degrees and 1 minute, but then I'm going to take that 0.5 and times it by 60. So 0.5 times, oh, that's going to be 30. So this will be 83 degrees, 1 minute, and 30 seconds. So this decimal degree is the same as that in degrees, minutes, second. Okay, hopefully that helps you with those couple. Now, let me go to this question where they ask you to find the secant of 38.43 degrees. So my problem is I don't have a secant button on my calculator. Otherwise, well, maybe I do. I think maybe I do. Yeah, it's funny, some of the newer calculators, they actually have a secant button. So secant of 38.43 go. For me, it came just on my calculator, 1.2765, etc. But now if you don't have that button, that doesn't help you much. But you do know that the secant of an angle is the reciprocal of cosine of that same angle. So I could rewrite this as 1 over the cosine of 38.43 degrees. And then just do that on your calculator. So 1 divided by the cosine of 38.43 go gives me the same answer. 1.2765, etc. Okay, so that's how, if you're needing to find a reciprocal ratio of an angle, change it to a primary ratio, and then change it to primary, and you do that by going 1 over the cosine of the same angle. So just as a test, if you wanted to find the cotan, say, of 45 degrees, that is the same as 1 over the primary ratio, which would be tan of 45 degrees. Do that on your calculator. I think it comes out to 1. Okay, one more question. So here, this is different because they have what the ratio is, or what the decimal is. This one's a fraction, but fraction is decimal, similar thing. So they tell you what the ratio is, but they want to know what the angle is. Right now, again, I don't have a cosecant button on my calculator, so I can't really do that. But I do know that cosecant is a reciprocal of sine. So what I can do, and this is what I like to do, it's like any other equation. If you have 2x equals 5, this is 2 times x, so you do the opposite operation. And so I'm going to divide this side by 2, divide this side by 2. So whatever I do to one side, I can do to the other side, and everything's good. So I do the same thing here. So cosecant, instead of being a cosecant, I'm going to change that, and I made a new word for it, reciprocalize. I don't know if that's a word or not. Anyway, I'm going to find the reciprocal of cosecant, and that's sine. And suddenly I'm on, ooh, I've got a calculator, I can do that. So if I find the reciprocal of cosecant, I need to find the reciprocal of this side. And the reciprocal just means flip it over. So this would be 3 over 2 root 3. Okay, now I could do this on my calculator. I could go theta is equal to the arc sine of whatever 3 over 2 root 3 is. Making sure you probably put this in brackets down there so it doesn't perform the wrong operation. The other thing you could do with this one is there's a root 3 on the bottom, and so I could take and rationalize the denominator. So I'll multiply the bottom by root 3 and the top by root 3, and that gives me 3 root 3 over 2 times root 3 is root 9, which is just 3. Oh, and the 3's cancel out, and so that gives me root 3 over 2. Then, if you've memorized these, or if you've looked at the chart in section 5.1 or 6.1, whichever, at the end of the section before the exercises, there's a chart, and it has sine, cos, and tan on it, and it has 30, 45, and 60 degrees, and then sine of 30 is a half. This one's root 2 over 2, root 3 over 2. And so here I'm looking at sine, and it says sine of an angle is root 3 over 2. And I look on here and it's sine, here's root 3 over 2. It happens at 60 degrees. Therefore, theta is equal to 60 degrees. Let me just try that on my calculator too. So I do the arc sine, that's that one, arc sine of 3 divided by, in brackets, 2 root 3. 2 square root 3. Yeah, I think that's it. Bang on, 60 degrees. So right at this point here, my calculator gave me 60 degrees. Hopefully that helps you with those questions. If you have any more, give me a holler.